We often wake up and dive right into business without thinking about what kind of mark this day will leave on our lives. But what if you could start your morning with awareness and strength, with a clear focus on what really matters? What did the Stoics tell themselves every morning to stay calm and strong in a world full of challenges? Is it possible to prepare your mind so that no problems, conflicts, or surprises throw you off balance? In this video, I'll share 5 phrases that the Stoics used to say every morning to maintain inner peace and wisdom. They will help you not only set up your day, but also make your life more harmonious. Today I will meet people who are selfish and ignorant, but their behavior will not break my spirit. This phrase belongs to Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, who was not only an emperor, but also a profound philosopher. In his meditations, he often wrote about how important it is to remain calm and wise, even when we encounter people whose behavior or views may cause us stress or irritation. Marco Aurelius emphasized that people often act according to their own beliefs that can sometimes be limited or selfish. However, this does not mean that we should allow their behavior to influence our internal perception of the world. Instead of succumbing to the emotions that encountering such people evokes, we should realize that their actions are a consequence of their own inner world and have nothing to do with our condition. They may be ignorant or selfish, but this should not break our spirit or affect our inner harmony. This phrase teaches us to accept people as they are without trying to change them or obsessing over things we cannot control. Their behavior is their own, and our task is to maintain calm, wisdom, and inner balance despite external factors. I control only my thoughts, words, and actions. This phrase reflects the basic principle of Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of realizing that we can only control certain aspects of our lives. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, emphasized that there is only one thing over which we have complete control: our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Everything else, external events, other people's opinions, circumstances that arise in our lives, is not under our influence. We cannot change what is happening around us, but we can change our attitude to these events. This is the key aspect of Stoicism, not to be disturbed by things we cannot control. Epictetus urged us to remember that our inner perception determines how we react to external events. If we cannot change the situation, we can change our attitude towards it. For example, if we find ourselves in a stressful situation, instead of being indignant and worried, we can accept the situation as it is and remain calm. This phrase reminds us of the importance of disciplining our thoughts and emotions. When we consciously manage our reactions to events, we free ourselves from stress and frustration. Even if the situation looks unpleasant or unfair, we can remain calm and wise, because our attitude to it depends only on us. The Stoics believed that inner peace is achieved through self-control and control over one's thoughts. If we do not let emotions or external factors destroy our harmony, we remain strong and free. Therefore, every morning when we say this phrase, we remind ourselves that we are the only ones who determine how to react to everything that happens. Everything that happens serves as a lesson to me. This phrase reflects one of the main ideas of Stoicism. We cannot control external circumstances, but we can control our attitude towards them. It also reflects the Stoic view of challenges and difficulties as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. According to the Epictetus, everything that happens in our lives has meaning and value for our development if we are able to perceive it correctly. A Stoic attitude to difficulties one of the key ideas of Stoicism is that every situation, regardless of whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, has the potential for our inner growth. Stoics do not see difficulties as a problem, but rather as a natural part of life that we should accept with gratitude. They teach that through effort, patience, and self-control, we can learn a lesson from any situation. In every trouble, you can find an opportunity for personal development. For example, if you have been deceived or betrayed, instead of feeling disappointed and angry, you can see this situation as a chance to develop inner strength and a deeper understanding of human nature. This helps to build resilience, wisdom, and the understanding that anyone who harms us is acting out of their own limited views and experiences, not because we deserve it. Thus, even in the most difficult situations, which can cause feelings of resentment or powerlessness, we can find a lesson for ourselves. Shift from victim to teacher. The idea that everything in life serves as a lesson helps to change our attitude towards circumstances. If we start to see all difficulties as opportunities for learning, we will stop putting ourselves in the role of a victim. In the face of stress or trials, we can ask ourselves, what lesson can I learn from this situation? This question changes our perspective on the problem and makes it a part of our inner development. If we view every situation as a challenge for personal growth, we can act with inner peace and confidence. Instead of being upset by failures, we can use them as a catalyst for self-improvement. Stoics emphasize the importance of not relying on external circumstances. This does not mean that we should ignore or accept injustice or pain. It is about maintaining inner calm and clearly understanding that it is up to us to react to events. If we realize that even the most difficult situations have opportunities for development, we can remain calm and wise in any challenge. This allows us not to suffer from external circumstances, but, on the contrary, to use them to improve ourselves, transforming suffering into lessons. One of the main principles of Stoicism is that we must change our attitude towards suffering. When we experience pain or disappointment, we often see it as misfortune or defeat. The Stoics, on the other hand, suggest that we see suffering as an opportunity for transformation. They believe that even through suffering, we can become wiser and stronger if we work with it properly. For example, through experiencing the loss of a loved one, you can learn to appreciate every moment of life. Through difficulties at work, you can strengthen your endurance and self-control skills. The Stoic idea is that suffering is not a goal, but a path to development if we are ready to see lessons in it. This day is a gift, and I must use it wisely. This phrase reflects the concept of memento mori, remembering death, which is important in Stoic philosophy. It reminds us that our time is limited and that it is important not to waste it on trivialities or unnecessary experiences. Given that we don't know how much time we have left, the Stoics urge us to value every day as a chance to do something meaningful. The idea of memento mori is not meant to bring sadness or anxiety, but rather to help people understand that life is a limited resource that we should use to the best of our ability. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest representatives of Stoicism, wrote extensively about the importance of remembering death so as not to delay or postpone until tomorrow what can be done today. He believed that the realization that our existence is temporary should motivate us to use time wisely. We often live as if we believe we have unlimited time and put off important things for later. Tomorrow I'll start exercising. Tomorrow I'll make an important call. But if we constantly procrastinate, we may not live to see that tomorrow. That's why the Stoics urge us to use every moment, realizing its value. The value of every day emphasizes the importance of maintaining awareness and appreciating every day as an opportunity for development, for realizing your plans and achieving your goals. It reminds us that time is the only thing that cannot be bought or returned, and therefore every day should be used wisely. For Stoics, this principle is the basis of their approach to life. They urge us not to procrastinate, but to take responsibility for every action and decision we make. This helps us stay focused and not get distracted by things that are not important. Wasting time is one of the greatest losses, and realizing this truth helps us not to waste it on prolonged worries or aimless pursuits. This day is a gift, and I must use it wisely, is a phrase you can use every day to remind yourself of the importance of using time wisely. Stoics believe that every day is a chance to change one's life for the better, even if it means only a small step forward. This approach allows us to realize the value of every moment and not waste time on unnecessary things. Realizing that the day is a gift helps us not to waste it on aimless worry or inactivity. Instead of worrying about what we didn't have time to do, we can use the time to become better, more productive, and wiser. My value is not determined by external success. This phrase is a staple of Stoic philosophy and calls for a profound rethinking of how we define our own value and success. It emphasizes that the true value of a person depends not on how others perceive him or her, or how much he or she has achieved in the world of material and social achievements, but on his or her inner state, virtues, and spiritual development. It encourages us to focus on what is truly important, not on the temporary, changeable indicators that we often take for true value. Virtue as the basis of human value. In Stoicism, special attention is paid to virtue as the highest manifestation of human value. The Stoics believe that in order to be a true, inner, worthy person, one should not focus on external achievements or praise from others, but on one's own moral state and actions based on virtue. Virtue is the ability to act in accordance with reason, justice, courage, and moderation in all situations, regardless of whether others are watching. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a person should be happy not because of what they receive from the world, but because of how they respond to this world. He argued that the highest human goal is the development of internal qualities that cannot be changed from the outside. This calls into question the commonly accepted notion that success is the accumulation of wealth, social status, or fame. For the Stoic, the most valuable thing is how one acts in the world and whether one's behavior is consistent with one's moral principles. External achievements are not true success. Most often we perceive success through the prism of material achievements or social status. How much money we have earned, what kind of career we have built, how many times we have been applauded. However, the Stoics teach that external achievements are only temporary milestones that do not determine our true value. They believe that achievements that depend on external circumstances or other people can be very unstable. For example, a person may be lucky enough to become famous or achieve great material wealth, but this does not make them more valuable than others. The important point is that wealth, fame, or recognition can be lost in a moment. The Stoics emphasize that such external factors are impermanent and often lack true meaning for human happiness. They teach that only internal qualities such as kindness, honesty, wisdom, and courage are what truly define a person. They are able to survive any external changes and difficulties. The Stoics emphasize the importance of moral independence, the ability to act in accordance with one's beliefs and values, not for the sake of pleasure or recognition from other people. This independence allows a person to maintain calm and inner peace even when the outside world seems unfair or unpredictable. If we base our value on external achievements, we will constantly be dependent on circumstances and the opinions of other people. It will change in accordance with our social status or material achievements. The Epictetus emphasized that a person who depends on external factors to determine his or her worth will always be subject to stress and disappointment. All these external factors could be lost, and then the person would be left without any support. Instead, the Stoics advise building one's value on something unchanging, on one's own virtue, the ability to be kind, wise, and just in any situation. One of the main features of Stoic philosophy is the ideal of self-sufficiency. This means that a person should not depend on external circumstances to feel valuable and successful. They should be internally calm, independent of whether they receive recognition or material rewards. Instead of comparing oneself to others, the Stoics urge one to focus on one's own inner development. Self-sufficiency also means the ability to set moral goals and achieve them, regardless of whether we receive praise or support from others. For a Stoic, true success is the development of one's inner virtues, which are not dependent on external conditions. According to Stoicism, true success lies in inner harmony. This means the ability to be calm and steady despite changes in the world around you. A person who defines his or her value through external achievements will always experience instability, as these achievements can be lost or changed. Stoics, on the other hand, have a constant source of strength in their inner state. Their pursuit of inner peace and wisdom helps them to maintain balance, even in the most difficult situations. If we want to be successful in the eyes of the Stoics, we need to focus on developing our inner virtues: intelligence, kindness, patience, wisdom, and courage. For the Stoic, true success does not lie in what we have in the material sense, but in who we are as people who reflect the best qualities of humanity through our actions and thoughts. True value is determined by whether we live in harmony with our own principles and beliefs, whether we act for the sake of goodness and justice. The Stoics teach that even if we do not achieve material achievements, but live honestly and responsibly, we can consider ourselves successful. It is impossible to predict what will happen in the future, and this is also emphasized by the Stoics. Since the outside world is beyond our control, we cannot afford to evaluate our worth by how we look in the eyes of others or how much we have. If our value is determined by external achievements, then we will always be subject to instability and anxiety over things we cannot control. Therefore, for a Stoic, true success is not only the achievement of external goals, but also the ability to find peace and inner strength regardless of what is happening around us. The Stoics taught that a person's true strength lies not in what they have, but in who they are. They believe that inner development and the ability to stay true to one's convictions is what determines the true success and value of each person. The phrases we have reviewed help you set your mind on the right track every morning, give you the strength and wisdom to accept the world as it is and act according to your best qualities. If you want to experience change in your life, try these phrases for yourself. Repeat them every morning for a week. Pay attention to how your attitude to life changes, how you react to stressful situations and challenges. You may feel that your inner state has become calmer and your attitude to difficulties has changed to a more constructive one. This simple but powerful approach can be the first step on the way to deeper changes and a more harmonious life. Don't forget to share your impressions in the comments, how your attitude to life has changed since you started repeating these phrases. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos and even more useful tips for your development. Remember, change starts with you.